Hey guys, welcome to Daily News Reaction with Shades 2. Today is Thursday, you guys. April the what? Today is April the 16th, I believe. Let me go check to see. Yeah, today is April the 16th, 2026. And again, welcome to Shades 2. Alrighty. So today, you guys, we're talking about Ashlee Jenae, the influencer who was found unalive while she was on vacation with her fiance. So before we start, you guys, let me go ahead and ask you guys to thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, share, and leave a comment. Also, hype this video up. Let's go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. Part of it is scrolling across that screen. Now, if you check out my live that I did, not last night, but the night before that, I talked about Ashlee a little bit in there. Then tonight, we're going to cover her more in detail. This right here is just a general short live, just talking about it, bringing awareness to this, justice for her and her family. And that's what it's all about. And I want you guys to leave a comment in the comment section below. So anyway, as we already know, her fiance's passport has been withheld. However, the police there in, how do you pronounce that? Tanzania, I believe, they are speaking to him as a witness and no arrests have been made. So let's see here. So Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa and pronounced unalived at a hospital the next day. Police said Ashlee and her fiancé, Joe McCann, were moved to separate rooms because they had an argument before they found her unalive. Now, her fiancé was being questioned as a witness, and he has not been arrested, according to reports. So let's see what we got here. So they are still investigating her unaliving, okay? I was trying to find the story that I had originally. Let me go look at that real quick. And, honestly, it's kind of suspicious because if they were in separate rooms, what happened, while they were in separate rooms where she committed the S word to herself? Okay, that's what they claim anyway, allegedly. A lot of people, they do not believe that. I don't know if I believe. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. I just know it's kind of weird. There's been all types of speculations. What could have happened? I don't want to accuse anybody of anything because we just don't know yet. But the thing is, I'm just trying to figure out what happened from the time they were in separate rooms, okay? Where she felt like she needed to, if she did do this, unalive herself. It just does not add up. I'm like her parents. It does not add up. Now, she was on a safari trip vacation, okay? And I think her fiance was going to propose to her, or he did. Something happened. They got into an argument. I don't know what about, but something happened when they had that argument that clearly it really seems like it got out of hand, because if it was just a basic argument, I don't think they would have divided them up. So that argument must have been enough for the hotel people to put them in separate rooms. Did someone go back to the other person's room? Okay, and they started up again, or what? And what was said? What were they arguing about? Anyway, let's see here. So when she was found unconscious in her villa, they did rush her to the hospital. I don't know who found her. Let's see. So they did say her and her fiance had a misunderstanding, but that misunderstanding must have been very serious to be in a different room, unless she requested to be in a different room because she didn't want to be in there with him, but it still had to be serious. And so her family did say they believe this is a suspicious situation. They don't believe the story. And they also said that they haven't heard from her fiance since then. And then I was looking in another article where they said her fiance is wealthy and he could have paid off the police to keep this, to not known. I don't know. I don't know for sure. So her mother said, "We just think this is very odd that our daughter was traveling with Joe and we don't hear anything from Joe." That's what one of her family members said, not her mother, but one of her family members. This is what they told TMZ. And this person said that's very odd because I guess before he must have been communicating with the family, I'm guessing. So another relative added that there has been no communication since her unaliving, which is weird. So she celebrated her 31st birthday on a safari vacation with her fiance of 1 year, okay, on the 5th of April. She put photos up and videos and everything of them walking together with a lion before he proposed to her. Okay. So on April the 8th, Robinson called her mother and said that she and her fiance got into an argument and she had moved into a separate room. Then the next day, her relative received a call from her fiance. He told her that Ashlee did something to herself and she was being taken to the hospital. And he said that she was in stable condition. It was asked what happened, and the fiance said it had been 11 hours prior. And then hours later, the hotel where they stayed notified Ashlee's family of her unaliving. Now, Ashlee had a mark around her neck at the time of her unaliving, according to a hospital report, which also claimed that her fiance found she HUNG herself on the door. How can you do that on a door? How can you do that on a door, for real? She was later taken to a second hospital, which listed her cause of unaliving as cerebral apoxia by strangulation and suffocation. So her family member said she never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself like that. She was happy. The family says they have been in contact with authorities in Tanzania, but have not received any information beyond confirmation that her unaliving remains under investigation. Police in Zanzibar told local outlets that they were not planning on detaining or pursuing legal actions against McCain. He has not been accused of any wrongdoings by authorities. Okay. Anyway, her family is considering traveling there in search of answers. So the thing I'm wondering is, like I said, I mean, he could be telling the truth. I don't know. And that's why I don't want to really say if I think he did anything to her or not until evidence comes out to support if he did or if he didn't. As of right now, though, he's not a suspect. They questioned him as a witness. They just kept his passport, which is kind of probably normal until they finish making sure, I guess, he did not have anything to do with that and stuff. But I do find it kind of odd that they would get into an argument. She goes into the room and take her own life. I find that to be very odd. You know, what if something happened where they got into another argument and then she was unalived by mistake? I'm just saying, I don't know for sure. Okay. And like I said, I read another article which claimed he's wealthy. He could do anything, you know what I'm saying, to conceal what happened. But then again, it could have been that she did just do that to herself. You know, sometimes, you know, people get into arguments, things have been said, and people be feeling some type of way, you know, and the family members don't know it. So again, I don't know exactly what happened. We will look into this a little bit further later on tonight on my Night Out Live. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share, leave a comment, and hype this video up. And also check out my other material. And I will see you tomorrow with another daily news reaction with Shades too. All righty. Before we leave, let me just go ahead and read a couple of these comments. Somebody said he strangled her, then roped her up, saying she committed the S word. That evil looking devil is plotting her demise in this photo. Well, I don't know for sure, like I said about that. I looked at the photo. I don't know. Somebody said, look at him. He did it. I don't know. Like I said, the argument could have gotten out of hand. They could have went into each other's rooms again. I don't know. And something could have popped off. But anyway, my condolences are expressed out to her parents, relatives, and friends. And my prayers are expressed out to them as well. And we definitely need to get justice for Ashlee Jenae. Somebody said he'll get off, then start over. Get him a caring couple kids that write, I guess they mean write a book. Another commenter said, but it's more to it. That look is not healthy in my eyes. They need to look into him more. Okay. I guess they mean they need to check him out a little bit more, but they probably are. You just can't be going by looks, because you'll be shocked to find out some people look perfectly normal and be doing the most. Another commenter said, after the way she talked about black men online, it's hard to feel sympathetic toward her. She made fun of black men being unalived by cops, calling them bullet bags and other nonsense. Personally, I feel sorry for the family she left behind. Of course, she didn't deserve whatever happened to her. No one deserves that. Her unaliving should be viewed as a cautionary tale for our community. Black men and women can't afford to abandon or give up on one another. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Aaron said the lady spoke the truth about black men and we are upset. I don't know why y'all be tripping. Black men, some be speaking many things about black women. So it is what it is. Maybe that's her experience. Maybe that's what she saw. I don't know. I didn't ever watch her or anything. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that someone still needs to get unalive or even take their own life. Okay. So like I said, I will continue this conversation later on. You guys leave your comment below. Tell me if you think this man is telling the truth, or do you think he's lying? What do you think happened to Ashlee Jenae? All right. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed day. And this is Shay's Tube Daily News Reaction with Shay Shay.